I've talked about a lot on this channel so far. This is going to be video number 14. In 14 videos, I've talked about a lot about self-help and healing, the recovery process, different avenues and philosophies, how to heal, just general advice. And the whole time I've done it without a game plan, and that's worked out for me. Uh, and today I want to talk about plans. I want to talk about making plans. I want to talk about the process of what that looks like, and I want to talk about following through with plans. So I consider myself a planner. I consider myself a short-term planner more than a long-term planner. Um, I say this because I consider myself a short-term planner who uses short-term plans to build to the long term. Now, I believe that most of the things in life cannot be controlled, and that's why I kind of stay away from long-term planning. But that's something that I've been um, readjusting. I've been rethinking. Um, like I'm not a person who has 5 year goals or things like that. But I'll make like month goals, right? So I have a bunch of short term goals and no long term goals. How do I make these short term goals? Well, the first thing I do is I think about what I want at the moment. And then I let those wants just sit, right? I let those wants just kind of do their own thing. Um, and then I take care of my needs. So I take care of my needs for a little while, and then I go back to my wants. And I go back to my wants, and I see which wants are still, wants, and which ones have faded away. And if there are still wants that have remained, I then turn those into goals, right? So if I want to, put on weight, right, I'll have that desire, and then I'll let it go, for a week, maybe a week or two. Just, live my life, follow my needs, right? Continue the goals that I've already established. And then I'll look back on a week and be like, do I still want to put on weight? If the answer is yes, then it's like, okay, this is now something that I will create a plan for. And then the planning process, I will take what I believe I know I can do and cut it in half. So if I believe I can put on 20 pounds in 5 months, I will cut it in half to 10 pounds in 5 months. That's just an example. Um, it's all go there, and that's been successful for me. Um, I can do some all of my short-term goals. When it comes to long-term goals, I shy away from because I don't believe that I can control the factors I need to make them real. And that's something that I am addressing. That's something that I want to change. That is a want. And so you see how this plays into each other. This is a want. My want is to create a goal. So I have to create a goal to create a goal. And I make this, I make a short-term goal to create this long-term goal. This is something that I'm doing right now. So a long-term goal, 5 years, I want to do X, Y, Z. So I will cut it into fifths. I'll make a year goal because that's a long goal for me now, but it's not the long goal. I'll cut it into fifths, and then I'll cut that fifths into 6 month periods. And that's where I'll stop because I have to increase my intervals, right? So short-term goal for me at one point was a month. Now a short-term goal for me is 6 months, right? And if I can master this, a 6 month goal, in the future, a short-term goal maybe a month or a year. But right now, the short-term goal is 6 months. And I say this because I know there are people out here who have goals and they have, things they want to do, things they feel they need to do, but they're not sure how to go about it. And what I would advise them is to, if you think you're starting small, cut it in half and start smaller. Look at yourself fairly. And I've mentioned this a lot about a lot of things in this channel about looking at yourself fairly. But look at yourself fairly and ask yourself, what can I accomplish in a period of time? Ask yourself what you can accomplish in just a few months. And if you figure out what you can accomplish in a few months, do it. Accomplish that in a few months, and then keep doing it. Keep accomplishing in a few months, and then when you feel confident in this interval of a few months, increase that amount. So if that few months is 3 months, go okay. New short-term goal will be 4 months. New short-term goal will be 5 months. So again, maybe you started at 6 months and you cut it in half to three. Then you sat with three, you worked with three, and then you moved up to four. You'll continually move up. That's the goal. But don't rush this. And this is what I tell a lot of people is do not rush um, your own progress, and do not try to pretend that you aren't where you are on your journey. Do not try to pretend that you are somewhere else on your journey when you are just where you are. Because if you lie to yourself, if you tell yourself that you are, you know, capable of planning, a year in advance, you're just going to be disappointed. And that's not a, lack of confidence thing. That's not a disbelief thing. That's just looking at the facts. That's just accepting where you are. That's doing yourself justice. None of us are God. None of us can become what we want to become overnight. So it's important to take care of what you know you can in the way that you can, and not try to do everything before it's time. You know, I'm not going to go out and try to deadlift 500 pounds when I can't even deadlift, 300, right? Get to 300. But you can't get there until you figure out where you are. So go where you are, figure out where you are, be where you are, learn where you are, and then go from there. Don't try to go without knowing where you are. It's like running with your eyes closed. I mean, I'm just running like you don't know you don't know where you are. You don't know what you're capable of until you know what you're capable of. I think that's so important. I think that's understated. I think it's underappreciated. And I don't think a lot of people really understand what that means. And it's quick too. It's not like you have to sit and, think about, your limits and where you are on your path. You just need to be honest with yourself. And being honest is being honest with yourself doesn't take, climbing a mountain, you know, it takes honest self-reflection. And then you're done. Then you can apply it to your game plan. You can apply it to your life plan. You can apply it to, whatever. But it's like creating a map. And then you have this map. You know where you want to go. Shouldn't you know where you are as well? You know? I've never played a video game where the map doesn't have you on the map, right? So who would that help? If I'm trying to go here, I don't know where the hell I'm at if I don't know where on, the map I am. So figure out where you are. Make your plan. Adjust your plan, but always know where you are in relation to that plan, in relation to how you can accomplish that plan, in relation to your capabilities. And this can just be regular stuff, right? Where are you right now in terms of, your capacity to socialize? Let's say that you're a person who's not good at socializing, you want to get good at socializing. It does not do you any good to sit around and pretend that you are some sort of social savant when you aren't. You just aren't. That's okay because you can become this. But it's not going to help you to sit around and think that you are this, maestro of men when you are not. So become that. If you want to, that's your goal, put in the work and become that, but figure out where you are first, right? You want to go fight the end game boss? Great. I love the attitude. Where are you in the game? Because if you don't know where you are, if you can't answer that question, then entire idea is null and void. And don't be upset if you're, far from your goal. Please don't. That doesn't help anybody. It's not fair to you. If you're at the starting area, then by God, you're at the starting area. Go ahead. You know, I'm glad you're on the map, is what I'm saying. I'm glad you are on the map. You know, I'm glad you were on the map. So be on the map. Be on the map and then go from where you are on the map to where you want to be on the map. And make your plan to be there and to go there. Make your plan. Do what you have to do. But just know where you are at all times. Know where you are. Ooh, know where you are, yo. Got another video Monday. We got 3 a week right now. 3 a week. It's working for me. I'm a little busy, so 3 a week is working for me. But yeah, this is a good pace for me right now. 3 a week again, as I've been preaching. This is subject to change. So, don't get bent out of shape. All 0 viewers. I'm not even upset. I'm just making a joke at this. But yeah, I got another video coming Sunday. So, everybody stay tuned. But yeah, I love making these. Every time I start, I feel a little nervous, but I always ease up and it always feels good. So yeah, I'll be back on Monday. So other than that, y'all peace and stay hydrated out there. It's hot.